you? I just came from Rhonda Impink's class, and it was a joint class of social work and, I don't know, a couple of those classes, and it was really fun to be with those students, about 60 of them, and to talk about some of the work that I've done. And I have here that I wanted to thank Nancy for inviting me, and also I've listed everybody that she just thanked, so I probably won't read all of that. I did want to say thanks especially to Dave Stanley, her spouse, because he offered to come to St. Louis and drive me here, which I thought was above and beyond, and I didn't let him do that. But part of their story, they revealed abuse and molestation and other kinds of violence in their lives. And my discussion of their stories in that book focused on the fact that violence had been and continued to be a constant in their lives. One chapter in that book also explores how women are responsible for honing their stories in ways that could get them more resources and assistance, including their very first attempts to come into shelter. In order to get into a battered women's shelter, you needed to be able to tell your story, usually on the phone, but a lot about identity and place and the importance of home and those sorts of things. And so I spent about a year just reading everything I could get my hands on, written by cultural geographers, because I wanted to see if I could use that to think about these narratives. And so we'll see if it works. Well, growing up in my house, I came from a really dysfunctional family, very abusive. My dad was the kind of person that it didn't matter what reasoning it was, whether he was right or wrong, it was his idea. So we were punished for things. We knew it was a mind game, I guess you could say. We were always constantly thinking, how did he do things and what would he do? Because we knew if we didn't do it his way, we were going to be punished. I can never remember this man ever saying anything nice to any of us, including my mother. One example would be, well, we'd be sitting at the table, and if it's, we would be having a meal, if that's what you want to call it, what normal people do when they sit down to have a meal. But in a sense, it was never normal, because always when you sit down to eat, what you might say or think, in our house, it always ended up in a dispute, and him throwing a glass or him throwing dishes. It was always something over nothing. And it was like when you came to the table, you knew how you were supposed to act.